There have been a lot of videos circulating on YouTube and the web concerning Jet Li's seeming disappearance from the Hollywood spotlight. Many of these videos have detailed in length his seemingly declining health and rapid aging, which have mostly been based on his appearance in a select few photos that happen to go viral. While there are various reasons he's decreased his action movie output, including suffering from hyperthyroidism and the pains that naturally come with being an aging martial artist, there's one reason that hasn't been discussed nearly as much, and which I would like to talk about today, and that's intellectual property and copyrights. In a recent interview with Sina Weibo, Li detailed one of the lesser-known reasons he felt he had to pass on two very major action films in the Matrix trilogy. He states, "It was a commercial struggle for me. I realized the Americans wanted me to film for 3 months but be with the crew for 9. And for 6 months, they wanted to record and copy all my moves into a digital library. By the end of the recording, the right to these moves would go to them." He goes on to say, "I was thinking, I've been training my entire life, and we martial artists could only grow older. Yet, they could own my moves as an intellectual property forever. So I said I couldn't do that." This is something I think many people might understand, and is something worth considering about your own contributions to a system based on generating endless streams of profit. It's also why I really wanted to title this video, Corporate Clones: Who Really Owns Your Talent? The same issue rears its head when we discuss the ethics and ownership of musical performance holograms. We've seen holograms of Tupac, Michael Jackson, and now artists like Elvis Presley and Amy Winehouse may be going on tour again despite having passed away some years ago. It's one thing if a deceased artist's family gets compensated for this reproduction of their work, but what about in Jet Li's case? He worked all of his life to become the revered martial artist that he is. So how fair would it be for some corporation to just reap the benefits of his lifelong work by tacking on some motion capture sensors to his body and claiming ownership over all of his moves? Another somewhat related issue comes from the privacy concerns surfacing from the usage of DNA ancestry services. These services do have varying useful applications and claim to never share your information. But there are some open source DNA information sites like GEDmatch who collect the DNA information and share it with whatever parties are interested in it without the need for permission or consent. In Jet Li's case, things become even more complicated as it isn't exactly his biological property that he risks giving up. Instead, it's the novelty of his martial arts style and performance, which is based on physiology or body mechanics. This is much more difficult to claim copyright over, as we've seen in the recent stories about gaming companies, especially Fortnite, profiting off of the dance moves of various hip-hop artists and other people of color who generally haven't been credited for their innovative dance moves, nor have they received a share in the profits. Extrapolating even further, one could argue that nobody owns any of their own content once it has been posted online to social media. But of course, we all knew that already since we all read those terms and services agreements, right? Issues surrounding intellectual property and copyright laws have always been a bit difficult to contextualize. On one hand, it's fair to believe that those who create content should be fairly compensated for their work, especially so that they can continue making great content without the worry of where their next paycheck will be coming from. On the other hand, I'm sure many would also agree that art, culture, and information should not be hoarded, but rather shared with the world. But, in a way, this begs the question, not just of who should be compensated, but as an artist, is revealing the secrets of your craft really worth the money? Is cashing in by allowing your art to be commodified and mass-produced selling out your art? Or even selling out your culture? Does Jet Li even own the rights to those moves himself, or did he merely learn them from his martial arts trainers who learned from others? And was he merely capitalizing on his skill by utilizing them in American movies, where such feats of physicality were rarely ever displayed and certainly never homegrown? I don't really know the answers to these questions, but I do think they're interesting, and even necessary to discuss. And I hope that this video may further that conversation in some meaningful way. I also hope that we continue to see Jet Li in action movies, because no matter how close a corporate clone or copy can sing a song, dance a dance, or perform a move, it just isn't the same as watching the real thing. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like button, share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll stay tuned.